Well, I'm kind of a natural leader, I've discovered. I just have a very to the point kind of attitude when I go in. I say, okay, what needs to be done? What do we need to do to get it done? Where do we start? And I'm very like, all right, we got a plan, let's go. And I'm the one who's, why are you standing there? Do you have something to be doing right now? Because it can be done. So it's very timeline oriented, I would say. Very much in here, we're all learning the same thing. We all have the same class, we have the same teachers, we have the same kit. I feel like we can all be doing something at all times, I suppose. We know each other's strengths, especially in in our showpieces class right now. We have the same team through the entire quarter. So we really get to know what the other people on our team can do, and that's very much the way it would be in a kitchen. You would know this person is really good at sculpting, or that person's really good at piping. I can say, I am not the greatest painter or the greatest, at drawing or something like that, and no, Kate's really good at that. So I can hand this project off to her, whereas maybe I would be a better sculptor and be able to take that on, which just helps give the best product in the end. Well, actually just this last week we started doing sculpting pieces, which is not something I've really done a lot of before, and I've really enjoyed it, like fondant and marzipan sculpting. And we made this fantastic little gingerbread house, which I'm really proud of. So
you take pride in your work then?
Yeah, definitely. I recognize when I think things are good because I did them, and when I think that they're actually good. Last spring, my sister and I was home for maybe a month, and we invented a cupcake one night, the pina colada cupcake, which was amazing, yes. But she just came home at 11 o'clock at night, I think, and she was like, I feel like baking. So we went in and made up this cupcake and went and made our little brother try it, and he was like, that's really good. So we started jumping around the living room, and we were like, what if we really did want to do this? Because we've always loved to bake. I mean, we were the kids that, when we were little, we'd go in the kitchen and pretend that we had a cooking show, because that's when, I think it was Great Chefs, Great Cities was the first of those shows that came on. Before any of the Food Network and any of that, and we loved to watch it. I think that was the first show that Emerald was ever on. Go in and make a peanut butter sandwich, pretend you're talking to the camera. Now, I'm going to be settled in this area, and she's in Knoxville, so we've talked about if we started our own places and had it like a franchise, but who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of years. So the biggest thing for me has been getting the hands-on experience with a lot of these mediums. That's one of my things is most of the stuff that we learn in class I have not done before, and some of it's just because I haven't had the chance, but some of it is like learning how to cast sugar, learning how to do pulled or blown sugar. Things like that are not things that you normally will go and learn on your own. And I've just always said, if I'm going to learn this, I need to go someplace and have somebody teach me how to do this. So that's really been the biggest thing for me about being here, is getting the hands-on experience. And that's one reason I chose this program, is because it's all lab classes. Well, our class project today is an anniversary cake, which is the idea is that it's 50s inspired, as if a couple were to have gotten married then and asked for a cake that resembled their original wedding cake, which the 50s style, it was Wilton first came around, which is the big typical cake decorating brand, and they had started coming out with their books. So they're very flourishy kind of style, or say, is in there, and there were lots of details. Grace Kelly got married in this period, the movie Father the Bride. So I looked at those cakes, specifically the one from the movie Father the Bride is what I have as the inspiration for mine, because that was an actual wedding cake that was made in the 50s for a film. But we already have the cakes made. We did those towards the beginning of the term, thankfully, because having to bake a cake and do all this in one time would be impossible. But every day we come in and we make the frosting for our cakes. This one is just filled with the Italian buttercream as well, so there's not a separate filling that we have to make. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is getting the frosting made, because it is whipped egg whites. You have to cook the sugar and pour it in just at the right time to cook the egg whites, and then whip it until that's cool before you can add the butter, or it'll melt. And I like making buttercream. I really do. That's, again, something that I hadn't made before I came here, because I was like, cooking all that stuff seems really, I don't really know, and you hear about sugar is so volatile to work with, but it turns out it's not as scary as people make it sound like it is, so I really enjoy it. I grew up, my mother, actually, she always wanted to be an artist, and her mother never encouraged her to pursue what she wanted, just because, it was the time period. It was, women don't do that sort of thing. Women are secretaries and librarians and mothers. So it took her a long time to come around to doing what she wanted to do. So she always said she would never discourage us from doing anything. And she definitely instilled us with that love of the arts. When I was a kid, the most exciting thing was she brought home this giant roll of paper and unrolled it in the kitchen and just gave us, all the crayons and markers and everything that we wanted. We were like, giant paper! This is awesome! As a kid, it's huge. But so we were always making something when I was growing up. Always having to figure something out and make something work. Have to make a period piece. All you have to shop at is Hancock Fabrics, looking at different mediums, and that's always my thing, is I don't think I'd be happy if I wasn't learning anything. You have to be really good to make your own business out of it, I think. I'm very much the person who says, if you can't do it as good as or better than anybody who's done it before, what's the point? So I very much see it as that, but I see it as an art, because I love to explore. I love to, like I said, the different mediums, and having, like just this week, learned the fondant sculpting, and that always seeing something new. I think that's definitely the artistic side of it, exploring and finding new things.
That's a wrap.